Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Relationship Communications Weekly Live. I'm Lisa DeToffel, your host, and today we're going to be talking about learning new things. Okay? But those of us that are joining us for the first time, I'm the founder of Relationship Communications, where I coach and mentor established and aspiring professionals to create and grow and scale their network. Relationship Communications Weekly Live is a tactical and practical show we do every week at the same time, Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So I hope you'll put that on your calendar and make plans to join us. I would love to hear where you're coming in from. So if you're watching us live, please put in the comments. Just say hello and tell us where you're coming in from. I would love to hear that. So we are sponsored by Tiger Eye Solution, my virtual assistant business. And Tiger Eye Solution, we work with speakers, coaches, and professionals to help them grow their business so they can enjoy being the CEO and do what they love to do within their business. We do this virtually and in our online community. So before we dive into our topic today, I'm going to talk a little bit and introduce myself, a little bit about myself, and introduce myself for those of you that are new. And again, if you're watching live, please put in the comments where you're coming in from. Just say hello. If you're watching this later, please do use hashtag replay to let me know that you are watching this at a later time. We are streaming on different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, etc. So if you are on YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you can be notified every time that we do go live. So a little bit about me. This was me over 5 years ago as a preschool teacher. I was a preschool teacher for over 25 years prior to starting my first business, Tiger Eye Solution. I enjoyed being in the classroom and working with the children and learning from them as they were learning from me. I probably learned just as much from them as they did from me. But at the same time, I was building relationships with those children that I was teaching in the classroom, because you do have to get to know each individual child and their best way of learning so that you can accommodate that, so that they can learn what you're trying to teach them. I brought that into my professional world as well, because I love building relationships. Relationship management and follow-up is my specialty area that I specialize in with Tiger Eye Solution. So relationships are very, very important, whether you're just starting your business or you've been in business for a while. It's an ongoing process. Yes, you learn, meet new people. You might go to networking events, etc., to meet new people in person or online. We're doing both now. And you want to nurture and build those relationships. Just having that couple of minutes at an event, yeah, you can introduce yourself, give them your business card or give them your contact information, etc. However, that's just kind of saying hello, if you will. So if you want to build the relationship, you'd actually have to have a more in-depth conversation, right? To learn more about the person, to learn more about their business and exactly what it is they do. That's kind of the same thing I did in the classroom. I got to know each one of those children. They told me all about their families. I learned a lot about all kinds of different families, actually families from different countries even. So, but I also learned about the child themselves, what they like, what they don't like, and how they learn, which is exactly what I needed to know so that I could teach them in that way and they could learn exactly what they needed to learn. And then this is when Tiger Eye Solution was born. I did take a training program at the very beginning and earned a certification. Started my business, Tiger Eye Solution. I was an author assistant in the beginning, worked with some authors. Since then, changed niches and moved forward, built a team. In 2021, Tiger Eye Solution now has a team of 11 virtual assistants. We all kind of specialize in different areas and really enjoy working with our clients. And then, of course, this is my why. This is my family. My husband, Jeff, my 3 children, Caleb, Matthew, and Alyssa, my daughter-in-law, Abby, Caleb's a firefighter. Abby is a special eds teacher at a high school here in our local area, and they are the parents of these sweet little babies, JP and Hattie, who are now 7 months old. They are growing very, very fast. And then Matthew is out in the workforce. He graduated college back in 2021, and he is enjoying what he's doing. And then my daughter, Alyssa, just recently started her junior year in high school. My husband, Jeff, is getting ready to start a new job. So everyone is great. But this is my why. This is why I get up and do what I do every single day to help benefit myself and my family, and create my own schedule so that I can spend more time with these grandbabies that are only 7 months old, right? So I can rearrange my schedule any given day if I need to. I do have specific things I do on specific days and specific times, like this live every Friday morning at 10 a.m. But there are different things that I can rearrange if needed, so that I can spend time with my family, take care of the babies, whatever the case is. And when I was a teacher, I couldn't do that. I would actually have to call in sick. And you may be in the same boat. You may have come from the corporate world where you had a 9-to-5 job prior to starting your business or becoming an entrepreneur. When you work out in the workforce, they expect you to show up every single day. It doesn't matter what's happening in your personal life, but you have to decide what's important. Yes, I understand we all have to have a job, right? To help support our family. I get it. A job or some form of income, correct? If you're an entrepreneur, you still have a form of income, but you don't have a job, right? So that's just a decision you have to make for yourself as to what's going to work best for you. So again, as you're coming in, say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're coming in from. I would love to hear that. And today we're going to talk about learning new things. Okay. So think about a time when you wanted to learn a new skill. Okay. When we think about learning a new skill, we often put a lot of trash talk or gibberish into learning new skills, right? And here's what happens. You're sitting at your desk, maybe doing some client work or something for a customer, and you think, I'm going to start something new. I want to learn a new skill, learn how to do something new. But you're not, and you're sure that you can figure it out, whatever the steps may be, or ever how you need to get started, that you will figure that out, right, as you go. But you don't really know what you're doing. You may go watch a few YouTube videos or whatever around, what it is you're trying to learn. They're not helping you. You don't completely understand exactly what they're telling you to do. Okay. And then maybe you choose to put it off for a while, just because you didn't like that feeling of not knowing what to do. Yes, you've gotten started, but you don't know how to move forward. Okay. So you start a process of the learning. You get the beginning part done, right? But then you hit a speed bump. Okay. And you look at this mountain, if you will, and all of a sudden the gibberish starts in your head. All the things telling you that, all the language, you're not good enough, you can't do this, what was I thinking? Why did I say I would do this? All the things telling yourself you have no idea what you're doing, and so forth. There's all kinds of different things that come up in that gibberish in your head, right? And this happens to most entrepreneurs, especially when they choose to learn a new task, a new skill. And what happens is when you start, all that gibberish in your mind, it makes your brain lock. Okay? It completely locks your brain, and no new ideas are coming in. And when no new ideas are coming in, it, causes all that frustration. It gets worse. It gets bigger. All that gibberish gets even worse and bigger, right? But what you can do is reframe your learning as you're trying to learn this new skill. Okay, so think about it. Think about it from the point of curiosity. You're curious about this new skill you want to learn. Think of it from the point of view of of exploring, getting the new skill, exploring the new skill, just to see maybe if it's something that you're going to like or something that's going to be a good fit for you to actually learn. Okay. And we all know that learning something new actually takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, right? And when we are learning something, either for ourselves, maybe you need to learn a new skill to help out a client or a customer. We put a brick wall on top of our head and we try to push ourselves as fast as possible to learn it. And that's not the best way to go about it, okay? Because as we said before, we know learning something takes time. So trying to rush through it and learn it, it's just not going to work, right? All right, so let's recap. You have closed down your brain. You are talking trash to yourself, all that gibberish, and putting the pressure on yourself to get it done as quickly as possible. Oh my goodness, those things right there are just so overwhelming, right? So do you see how hurtful that could be? And it's just not going to happen. You're not going to learn what it is you're trying to learn if that's what you're doing to yourself. You've closed down your brain. You're talking trash, all the gibberish. And then you're putting pressure on yourself to get it done as quickly as possible. That's not healthy. It's not going to help you reach your goal of learning that new skill, whatever it is, right? So it's very hurtful for you. So what you can do when this happens is just stop. Stop and think. I'm going to take a break. When all that gibberish gets started, you went over that first small hurdle of actually deciding what you want to learn and maybe learning the first step of it or something. But then that's when everything sets in, all the gibberish and all the pressure, all the things, right? So when that happens, just stop. Take a break. Go get you a drink or take a short walk and then come back. And think, I'm not going to rush this. I'm learning something new. It's going to take a while. And so I need to take my time. Learn it one step at a time. Like I said, before all that gibberish sets in, maybe you've learned the first step because you've already determined what it is you want to learn. And then you have learned that first step, but then all that starts. Okay? Figure out what you need to know and then jump back into the work after you went and taken that break. Okay? So you've learned step one. All the gibberish and the nonsense took place, right? You've stopped. You've taken a break. And now you're coming back to it. So you want to figure it out exactly what you need to know for the next step. Not what you need to know to accomplish the whole thing. Because remember, we're not rushing through it. We're taking our time. So just figure out what you need to know to accomplish the next step of it. Okay? And then get to work. It's as simple as that. Just don't get so overwhelmed and let all the gibberish and the rushing through it so fast take over. Because you don't want to do that. Or stopping your brain, all those things. Don't let that consume you. If you need to set it aside and not look at it the rest of that particular day, then do that as well. Come back to it the next day or a couple of days later. Like I said, learning something new is a process. And you need to realize it's a process when you're first getting started. And like I said in the very beginning, you're all excited, right? To learn whatever it is. And so it may be really easy for you to figure out that first step and get it done. But then when step 2 and 3, maybe you get the first 2 steps of it done. And you're excited, oh, I can do this, I can do this. But then when you get to step 3 or 4, it's starting to get more complicated, right? That's when all the gibberish stops, when your brain gibberish starts and your brain stops, okay? And you're trying to rush through it. Don't do that, okay? Take your time. I have a project currently that I am working on. I've been working on it for a while, but I do have a deadline. I have to have it completed by the end of September. So yes, I'm not trying to rush, but I am trying to get it accomplished and finished, right? Because we're already 8 days into September, right? So I do have a limited amount of time to get it completed. But like I said, I've been working on it for a while, a long while. But now I'm down to the finish line. I only have X amount of days to get it finished. So, but don't put pressure on yourself. I'm not trying to put pressure on myself to get this finished either. I know exactly what steps are left that I have to do to get it completed. I just have to get in there and do it, right? So I hope this was beneficial. Again, if you're here live, thank you for joining. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching this later, use #replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe channel so you'll be notified every time that we go live. I hope everyone has a great Friday and a great weekend. We'll see you again next Friday.